Yeah, I'd say that's good. But that's hard, kind of hard to see nowadays in the 500 pool. Sometimes, like really, sometimes I play in the afternoon too, and then I look at the pool and there are like 30 entries and like 30 racks. It's so crazy. Here we can call and raise with the 5x. I think we're gonna raise here with 2 pair. Had queen 6. It was a fine call. Three betting the queens here. Arkeli, vamos, what's up, man? Thank you guys for joining today. So good to be here doing the stream. I always really like the. No, I remember back when I was starting playing, I was like, man, it would be so cool to one day be able to play and talk through my decisions and stuff, and it just felt like it's hard to sometimes know what to say or how to explain things and stuff. But later on, for me, the main thing was to just being able to, I don't know, maybe give some advice, and sometimes I receive a good feedback as well that something helped on either on their game or on their routines or something. So it's really cool to do this. So as I always mention, super happy to answer any type of questions you guys have. About the team too, so if you want to know a bit more about BrPC, about study routines or anything, how things work there, super happy to answer. True betting tens here can make it a bit bigger too. Calling. Very weird he checked this board. Okay. Probably should bluff. think king jack here is close. We would for bet ace jack, called for bet ace jack. And king jack gets in when it's big blind, when it's small blind 3-betting the button open. Yeah, but I don't think in those positions it, or maybe gets in at some frequency. S1 Smash, what was your best win rate month at 500 Zoom until now? There was a month, I don't remember the win rate, I don't remember how many hands I played, but I remember I had a 20k month just playing in L500. I had a bit of, I played a bit of regular tables too, but it was like the majority was just Zoom and Zone on Bodog. But yeah, it was like 20k. It was a bit before I moved up to 1k too. So now I mix both 1k and 500, but play more regular tables. I think ace 4 here is mix call and fold. I'm going to call this time. Just have a range that is full on, like that has a lot of possible bluffs and kind of a bad run out. Some of the bluffs get there. I'm going to fold. So just a reminder, guys, we will have a giveaway at the end of the stream for 3 GTO licenses, GTO Wizard license for the premium subscription for a month. And they have actually like some very cool new features with range building, so you can kind of build the range that you build, like how the range should be played on a certain node, on a certain spot, and then kind of compare to what the solution shows you. So for example, on a certain spot that you're facing a bet, you can put how some hands would play in the range, and then you build the whole range and see where you're kind of leaking. So that's very cool. King 9 is a defense. and we would call spades, and 1 diamond hands with overcards, and the pairs, and king 9 is just a fold. So interesting spot here, 3-betting the aces. I think it's a board we can bet often and small. And now I'm gonna check. So we're definitely blocking the call down range. Same here. So I don't want to, bomb it. So I'll probably I'll go small, but not super small. But yeah, it's kind of a tough spot because hard to see, like to study those sims being 160 or 170 or 200 BB deep. So yeah, now we just jam. Yeah, trying to think here. So whenever you heavily block the hands that are gonna call you, you don't want to bet huge. Like you're not gonna bet 2x pot with the top set in a lot of spots. And when you block reopens, you also don't want to check, so you want to bet smallish kind of in a lot of those situations. But again, it's kind of a tough spot. I think I'm fine with my play. And oftentimes you can induce something as well with some small bets. And then here, let me think about this one. Yeah, close one, but it's so we bet big on the flop, like 3/4, and he still has to call with a lot of overcards with the backdoor flush draw, and those are very good bluffing hands now. I think it's a fine call. Just a fold. small blind versus big blind, the low boards would check a lot. So 6-5 deuce, I think it's even fine to check range in some of those boards. And we're gonna have to fold a lot of overcards. I think ace queen still continues. Versus the half pot, versus 1/3 for sure it continues. And then we just check it down. Izaki Zandonai, Luis, does it make sense decreasing the bluff frequency in an anonymous pool? As we bluff in order to get paid by villain when we have value. And on anonymous pools like Bodog, people don't know who you are. So there's also the argument that people cannot, so if you're, let's say, over bluffing on spots where, let's say, people, like the pool tends to overfold. So if you're picking your spots correctly, so people cannot adjust against you as like you're the guy that is always bluffing on a certain spot. So this is also very good. So I wouldn't look at this situation as just black or white. So I think there are certain spots that in an anonymous pool you should definitely go for the bluffs. And yeah, some other spots. So it's very important to know the pool, to be familiar with tendencies of not only the pool, sometimes just the population in general. So interesting hand here. We 3-bet ace jack suited and we're deep. So when we're deep, we don't want to, so our betting frequency and our betting size in general they just decrease. So I think this hand will go mostly into the checking range. Interesting turn. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this one. I feel like we should defend at some frequency, but not sure if it's a pure call. Yeah, I'll tag this one too. So yeah, just to finish up what I was talking about, Isaac's question. So you should definitely bluff on all the pools, and there are definitely a lot of spots that you should bluff a lot. So yeah, I think the argument of even bluffing a bit more on anonymous pools could be better. Mateus 199, what is the best size to play until in L100? Does the rake makes much difference at these buy-ins? Yeah, the rake is kind of very high in the NL50 and NL100 too. Of course, it decreases as you go up, but it's still kind of significant. So yeah, it does make a difference depending on the side that you're playing. I would say, in terms of the pool, so how soft the pool is, I would say Bodog. So Ignition is one of the best to play. So Rake is not that bad or anything like this. So I would definitely advise anyone that is just moving up the stakes to play there a lot. And yeah, but the stars is fine too. It's just that basically, for example, in BrPC, most of the players have a way higher win rate in Bodog, for example. Yeah, but always pay attention to the rake structures and how much you're paying by rake in rake, like every month. Just a fold. Shamu, love the check with aces. Yeah, I think it was the hand that we had that we 4-bet.